So I went to go watch The Wild Robot last Sunday with some friends, and I just wanted to give my thoughts on it, cause I'm bored and have a lot of time on my hands. All right, so if you don't want spoilers, because this video is gonna basically tell you the whole movie, all I'm gonna say is that it's really good. You should go watch it. If you're like on the edge about it, if you're considering thinking about going to go see it, then just turn this off and go watch it right now. It's good. It's a good film. It's worth your money. Like I haven't really watched that many movies right now that I would say are worth your money. So just turn this off, go watch it, and then come back. I'll be here. This video won't get taken down, probably. But go watch it. Go watch the movie. So the plot of The Wild Robot is essentially that a robot gets stranded on an island. Okay, I need to take this slow. Take this slow. Calm down. Calm down. Okay, so essentially, a robot gets stranded on an island, only filled with animals. But let me tell you, the animals do not like this robot at all, dude. It's literally like if you were doing a free-for-all in Smash Bros. And everybody started jumping you because you still have all of your lives. It's literally that kind of scenario. So after Mother Nature strikes this thing with the power of 1,000 suns and then some, it starts looking after a baby bird egg. After accidentally getting a multi-kill on its whole family. I mean, those fuckers stood zero chance against this robot, bro. It's like if the Big Show climbed the turnbuckle and did a swan dive into a mouse. I mean, those poor birds got absolutely Thanos out of existence, dude. All except for the one egg. And that's it. The bird hatches and imprints itself onto the robot. And the robot makes it her life's purpose to nurture this baby chick the same way its mother would have. The only problem is that it's a robot. Third. So she's not the best with the whole parenting thing. Regardless, the robot figures it out, little by little, and she's able to teach this bird how to bird like the Lord intended. And it goes to migrate for the winter, but not before getting into a big kerfuffle, because the bird discovered that the robot is not in fact his real mom. So anyway, after Robo Girl and Birdie Boy separate, some inner turmoil stirs up in both of them because they realize how they actually feel about each other. That being that they love each other like a family. So the company shows up and by tracking down the robot, and the entire island of animals rushes to save her because she saved them from a winter that could have killed them. All the animals come together and do an Avengers style lineup and start throwing hands with the company that came to retrieve the robot. So they managed to fend them off because, of course, what is like a ship of robots gonna do against an entire island's worth of animals? Not much. The robot decides to willingly go back because as long as she's on the island, they won't stop trying to come back for her. Therefore, putting every animal and the forest in danger. So she does a Vegeta in the Majin Buu arc, sacrifices herself by going with the company, and they reset her memory in the process. So they give her the good old factory reset. But the little birdie she raised sneaks onto the ship, and when she's in the middle of her doing her robot work, she recognizes the duck that she raised, and they share a happy little moment where they come back together as a family. The end. That's the plot. So one thing I'm going to say about the plot is that it's very, very, very simple, which I'm actually very glad that they did. I'm so glad they didn't decide to, do some, like, try to make it some cinematic masterpiece of, like like the Dark Knight trilogy, or like some philosophical, mind-boggling, like hit you in the feels fucking, like I'm just glad that they didn't try to do something like Evangelion or Jujutsu Kaisen where they make you think really heavily about it. I think the fact that the plot is really simple works more so as a strength rather than a detriment. So good for them. I think this was a really good choice, and I'm really glad that they didn't do some Kingdom Hearts shit where it tries to be smarter than it is, and then it ends up sounding stupid and feeling miserably. So good on you, Dreamers. You did something right. Can you tell this is my first actual YouTube video and not just me playing a game and uploading it? Let's start off with Roz, which is the name of the robot that crash lands onto the island. So I think out of the entire cast of characters, Roz might be the most interesting one in like a simple way, not in like a, you know, like rack your brain, think about it real hard, Einstein kind of way. So at the beginning of the movie, she is nothing but what she is programmed to be. A mindless bucket of bolts that just serves to complete your every request. Like the genie from Aladdin. Only if he was soulless and a corporate product. As the movie goes on, she begins to evolve because of her machine learning, and she even goes full Detroit Become Human deviant and does stuff like develop emotions and essentially just go rogue from the company and just do what she wants. So now that soulless empty husk that was just sent to be your bitch now has free will, and that sheep mentality where she would mindlessly just help you now turns into selflessness and generosity. The thing that starts off furthest from a human being turns into someone who is a better person than most people in the real world. This personality shift is made more evident with her appearance. The more she evolves and the further she gets into touch with nature, the more she gets covered in nature. So at the start, she looks like a very generic robot, you know, all white and shiny and futuristic. So kind of like, you know, just kind of like Baymax from Big Hero 6. Just, you know, like a whole non-threatening, huggable thing or whatever. So eventually, as the movie goes on, she ends up with things like claw marks from different animals, and she gets covered in tons of stuff like moss and leaves, and even different kinds of algae. She even gets an entire leg replaced with some wood that was carved out for her by a beaver. It's not just like an inside thing, it's also a physical thing. That just shows me that they actually tried with this movie, you know, for once in a while. This personality shift is mainly due to the animals around her, where they all encourage her to, you know, do their thing. Oh yeah, all the animals eventually just, you know, turn a new leaf and they start liking her. And all that is because of the baby chick that she had to raise, Bright Bill. There isn't really much to say about Bright Bill. The only thing I've got to say about him is that he's just inoffensive. That's it. He's not like someone who really stands out. His entire gimmick is that he doesn't fit in because he was raised by Roz. So he's got some quirky aspects to him. You know, like going around, you know, doing the fucking the robot, you know, locking and popping and shit. Throwing out some beep boops every now and then. But besides that, he honestly feels more like a MacGuffin, just so Roz has a purpose throughout the entire film. I don't know, I don't really think much of Bright Bill. Just that he's alright. That's all. Who the fuck is texting me? Yeah, that's kind of it about Bright Bill. He gets into a fight with Roz, and he gets mad at her, but then they make up because I've seen a movie before. Okay, let's talk about Fink now. Finky boy. Alright, dude. Yes, dude. The heart and soul of the movie. The absolute best character. Oh my god, man. This character absolutely steals the show, bro. There is no debate over this. Fink is the absolute best character in the entire movie. And if you don't think so, well then you are wrong and stupid, and I am right and smart and badass and sexy because it is my opinion. And it is objectively correct. So fuck you. Fink is such a slimy bitch. And I absolutely fucking love him for it. At the start of the movie, he serves more so as a foil to Roz, where Roz is somebody who is motivated by selflessness and generosity, like I said earlier. Fink is someone who is self-centered and motivated by a selfish instinct to survive by any means necessary, even if it means lying and cheating your way through life and having everybody hate you. You know, like a fox. His sarcasm and petty attitude also pave way for most of the movie's comedy. And unlike Transformers 1, the jokes in this movie actually come off naturally. And they actually work because the characters in this film have a personality, in sharp contrast to fucking Shitformers 1, who used the same stale and annoying dogshit jokes throughout the entire film. Oh my god, dude, Badassatron! Isn't that so funny? It's so fucking funny! I absolutely pissed and shit and cummed and cried my pants from laughter because that joke was so funny and not annoying. Yeah, how about we just you know, turn this down just a little bit. Just a little bit. That Acetron! It was so funny when they said it 5 times in a row in the same scene in less than 5 minutes! What did I talk about? Oh yeah, Fink. It's very satisfying seeing him start the movie as this loser who nobody likes, turn into one of the most caring and likable characters in the entire film. When he starts the movie, he just does his conniving fox thing and tries to trick Roz so he can eat Brightbill, only to ironically end up being the one who's at Brightbill's every beck and call throughout most of the movie. He even threatens to eat other geese because they bully Brightbill for being different and quirky and neurodivergent jokes now. So like I mentioned in the little Fink breakdown, the jokes in this movie aren't just low tier slop garbage or just like something or like brain rot or whatever. Unlike another movie I mentioned. All the humor comes from the character's personality, so it never feels forced or unwarranted. I'll use Roz and Fink as examples since we spend the most time with them. At the beginning, when Roz doesn't know her way around the forest, she comes off as an awkward, fumbling goober who's just trying to help everyone as much as possible. So the jokes always come when she's learning something, so it feels warranted. In contrast with Fink, who is very sarcastic, like I said, so all his jokes come off as either snide remarks towards someone, or just him being a petty bitch because somebody called him a poopy head or something. A perfect example of this is when Roz and Fink are looking for other animals to invite to their den because of, the terrible winter that I mentioned. And when Fink finds one of the animals, he insults him because, nobody likes Fink in the movie. So instead of, pulling him back out of the hole and trying to lead him back, he just buries him back in the snow. He's like, "Oh man, I think this one's dead already." And then Roz comes in and to say, "Little bro, who is texting me?" I think the best way I can describe the jokes in this movie is the way Gwen describes Miles' Einstein joke in Into the Spider-Verse 1.
I liked your joke. Really? I mean, it wasn't funny. That's why I laughed. But it was smart, so I liked it.
Alright, this section is just going to be like random thoughts that I didn't really know where to put into the video, so I'm just going to dump them all right here. It's not like it's a lot anyway. So, I only have one gripe with the movie, and it's literally just one. And it's not with the plot, not the jokes, not the characters, absolutely none of that. Because, if there was something like that, I'd be shitting on the movie. It has to do with the marketing. I don't know if it's Roz's design or the music they used for the trailers or whatever, but it just felt very generic. Maybe I just have brain rot or something, but when I saw the trailer, all I thought was just Bastion Overwatch. Because, there's a whole shtick about how he's also like a forest robot that takes care of his friends with like a bird or whatever. And I couldn't stop thinking about that little mechanical bitch or that dog shit game until I saw the movie. And honestly, if it wasn't for Schaeferless' subreddit, yeah, funny Tamatoa Crabman, I think I would have completely passed on the movie if I'm being honest. So thank you, Reddit. You actually did something good for once. Alright, so for final thoughts, this movie is... that is a lot of zeros I put in my script. Oh my god. I don't... is this even a real number? I don't know what number this is. Alright, but I'm gonna say this movie is 1,000,000% worth your money. And it is honestly better than most of the stuff that is being put out in theaters right now, if I'm being honest. Like, I do think this movie is 100% worth your money. And like I said, it's not a masterpiece or anything, but you should definitely go see it at least once before it goes out of theaters. And that's it. Yeah. Bye.